Welcome back to Crypto Nitro, everybody. Today we're going to take a look here at Cosmic Signature, so let's get right into it. This video is for educational purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research for every investment you make. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to have you all. This is a paid partnership with Cosmic Signature. I would say let's crack straight into it. Cosmic Signature, procedural on-chain art on Arbitrum. This is a very special project, I think, because I personally haven't seen something like this before in my time in crypto. It's pretty damn cool. Say, let's get a bit into how everything works, what they do. So pretty much this project also funds Ethereum developers, the team behind it. The users can shape very, very amazing artwork from what I've seen here already. Looks pretty damn cool, and also get a cut of the total jackpot, pretty much of the total. Get a cut of the total Ethereum pool, but I'm talking a lot of stuff. Let's get more into it. Every gesture shapes the signature. Make a gesture during a performance cycle, and every gesture shapes the cycle's final signature. When the cycle finalizes, the protocol distributes its reserves across more than 10 allocation tracks, including the infrastructure Ethereum itself depends on. So you can see cycle 1 finalizes here in 13 days, and pretty much what does this mean? Here, I think this is a pretty good way to explain it. So to put it into simple terms, because I went through this website, I had to go through it 2 times, 3 times to really understand what's going on here. So pretty much, in the simplest terms, Cosmic Signature is like an on-chain game of digital, like hot potato, if you want to call it that. It creates beautiful generative space art as users interact with it, and those gestures that we read about is pretty much you as a user interacting with with Cosmic Signature, and by that extending the time the game goes on and pushing your own kind of, I wouldn't call it style because you don't get to choose how it looks, but your own kind of interaction into the artwork as well. So the art is evolving every time someone interacts with it, and in the end we can go here to the dashboard, and we see some images, how it looks. For example, this, so it's like 3 planets that go around and then get pushed around to create these amazing looking artworks here. For example, you also have an animation down here on how everything went. This, for example, I saw something I really liked. This one is crazy, I think. But yeah, so it's pretty much a game that helps to fund Ethereum, helps to fund tons of other things, and there's so much going on. I would say let's read a bit more into it. So a performance cycle from open to finalization. A cycle is a window in time. It opens with calibration window, fills with gestures, and finalizes when the cycle finalization time expires. No houses, no dealers, just the protocol. So the cycle is opening, a new performance cycle begins. The first ETH calibration window opens, and the CST calibration window uses a stored on-chain duration that currently starts from a 12-hour reference. So CST is the token behind it, so you can interact with this through Ethereum and through CST, if I'm correct. Maybe also Arbitrum, I don't know, we will find out in a bit. And then the gestures are participants that make gestures with ETH or CST. Okay, so not Arbitrum. ETH or CST, every gesture extends the cycle finalization time, records a status selection entry, and may imprint a dynamic participation at CST based on the square root of the time since the previous gesture. ETH gestures shorten the CST calibration window by about 0.4%. CST gestures lengthen it by about 0.4%. So a little less with ETH then 0.4%. So now comes why I said it's a bit of a hot potato game, if you want to call it that. The finalization part: when the cycle finalization time expires, the participant who made the final gesture may finalize the cycle. After the exclusivity window, the open finalization window opens to anyone, and then comes in the allocation. The protocol distributes the cycle reserve across more than 10 allocation tracks. About half of the ETH reserve rolls into the next cycle compounding reserve. So the pool of Ethereum kind of gets bigger from each cycle to cycle, and more Ethereum is distributed through the different cycles, which is pretty cool. I think somewhere was also explained where everything goes. Yes, here, but we will read into that in a second. Want to go more into the 3-body problem rendered on-chain. Every cosmic signature NFT visualizes 3 celestial bodies orbiting under Newtonian gravity. 3 bodies produce fundamentally chaotic trajectories. No AI, no training data, just a deterministic physics. Same seed, identical output, pixel for pixel. So they put so much work, I think, into this, and like it's so cool to see for me what kind of things it creates with this, right? I mean, it's not something a random meme dev just has thrown out there for people to like play around with and then dip in a few days. But yeah, it's something really thought through, and something I haven't seen before. And like we read, right, you can interact with it through Ethereum, but also through their native token CST, which is also tradable on Uniswap, on Arbitrum. And so pretty damn cool. So here we see the different stages. It goes to the seed stage when it starts, the simulation, selection, camera, and so on and so on. And I mean, how cool do these things look? And to think, hey, this is all random, and you as a user can send a gesture to send it in a different kind of way, leave your imprint on it. And yeah, pretty cool, I think. So more than 10 ways the protocol distributes the cycle reserve. So when the cycle finalizes, it gets distributed through these ways. So we have 25% signature allocation to the participant who made the final gesture, includes also 1000 CST and 1 cosmic signature NFT. And I think by holding these NFTs, you also get a cut from future cycles. So if you win, you get 25% of the whole pool, which is also, I mean, huge. And then you get this NFT that lets you earn passively in the future. Then we have a 50% for the compounding cycle reserve. So that rolls into the next performance cycle. So that's already 75% gone pretty much. Then we have 8% Chrono Warrior allocation to the participant who had the endurance champion position for the longest consecutive interval. Also includes 1000 CST and 1 cosmic signature NFT. Chrono Warrior allocation, if we go to the dashboard, we can see down here, for example, the latest participant, and then we see the Chrono Warrior that is the champion since 9 days. And down here we can make the gesture, but you can already see who that person is and who's the person that did the last gesture, pretty much. Then we have the public goods allocation forwarded to protocol Geld, the funding mechanism for 170 plus Ethereum core contributors. Then 6% anchor distribution distributed proportionally across all cosmic signature NFTs anchored to the protocol for the cycle. So like I said, while withholding an NFT, you get that 6% split up between all NFT holders, which is also big. And then 4% allocation ETH Stellar selection split across 3 randomly selected participants. And selection frequency scales with gestures made. And then also we have an allocation of 10 NFTs each cycle. And 10 random selected participants each receive 1000 CST and 1 cosmic signature NFT. Another 10 NFTs anchored NFT Stellar selection, 10 randomly selected random walk NFT anchor holders each receive 1000 NST and 1 cosmic signature NFT, 1000 CST and 1000 CST also for the endurance champion, and the final CST gesture allocation. So yeah, there's a lot going on when this finalizes, but pretty cool to see. Also, everything is open, verified, reproducible. Whole thing is also audited by Hacken, if I'm not if I'm informed correctly. But yeah, to sum it up, a really cool thing that I personally haven't seen. Like always, no financial advice. Yeah, please do your own research if you're interested. Like always, all the links down in the description, so check that out for yourself. From my personal view, I haven't seen something like this before. It's pretty cool, pretty comprehensive. Also, pretty big dashboard that we have here. We can see what's going on. Amazing idea, honestly. There's, I think, been a lot of love and hard work put into this, and yeah, I personally really like what I'm seeing. And I mean, the 25% signature allocation that goes to the final participant, I mean, that can be pretty huge, I think, especially when those pools roll over to the next one. Pretty much the 50% that always goes to the next pool. So yeah, amazing stuff. I really like it. If you want to check it out for yourself, you know where to find the links. Thank you all so much for watching, and I see all of you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.